With the release of Spider-Man Miles Morales, the world has yet another iteration of everyone's favorite wall crawler. It's pretty much become that time of year where we can expect something great to come out of the character, and the past few years have been amazing for the brand. That said, I do feel the need to bring up a version of him that hasn't gotten that much love. And so, Spider-Man Fake Red is the best Spider-Man comic in recent memory. Well, technically it's not even a comic. It's more weeb Spider-Man than most people might be willing to take in fact. Spider-Man Fake Red is written by mangaka Yusuke Osawa, and naturally stars a character named Yu, who finds Spider-Man's costume in the dumpster. Osawa started back in October of 2018, having written the piece known as Spider-Man, I Am Not a Hero, and winning the Marvel Manga Awards with that piece. Back to the premise though, I always found that scene in Spider-Man 2 interesting where Jameson gets possession of Spider-Man's costume, which leads to some pretty amusing hijinks. I felt like they took the concept of that and pasted it onto a Japanese-American character and allowed the misunderstandings to drive the drama. As opposed to Spider-Man's traditional conflict, which is his secret identity and having that known by his friends and loved ones, Fake Red does the opposite and has a few characters discovering Yu wearing the Spider-Man costume, and as a result, coming to believe that he's the real Spider-Man. Throughout its 16-chapter run, Fake Red actually pulls in characters from across Spider-Man's history. Many villains from across his rogues gallery make an appearance in some form or another, drawing inspiration from some of the elements in the PS4 game, and featuring even newer characters like Silk and Screwball. I'm pretty impressed by how this series brought me back to why I love the character so much, giving respectful homages while maintaining the core of the character. Honestly, I felt like this was the sort of approach that Miles needed in his initial runs, to really get people on board with it. Just to do that character independently on his own, have him struggle, and then bring him back to the previous Spider-Man, and then have that all tie together. If you do decide to give it a read, be forewarned there is no official way for you to read the book in English, and unfortunately due to low sales in Japan, the manga has been cancelled. But it's a great look at how the character can be tackled and adapted when the right amount of love and reverence for the source material can be handled. I'd highly recommend Fake Red as a book which can perhaps bring you back to the comics and maybe be your Spider-Man. As some of you may know, I only really became a fan of the character in 2010 or so when Spectacular Spider-Man had just wrapped up, but really there's so many versions that you can get into that once you get into one, you might be motivated to go back and read the originals. Fake Red does great work updating the character, and I highly recommend even buying the manga trade if you can. Link to the Japanese Amazon in the description. Anyways, have you read Spider-Man Fake Red? Seems like an interesting concept, huh? If you have, let me know your thoughts. I'd love to see this adapted into an anime at some point because the story just works so well, but it's doubtful because of the series' cancellation. If you haven't read it, maybe give it a shot? You seem interested? Let me know down in the comments too. I'll see you in tomorrow's video.